Hello teachers and welcome to GMF Book 2 Unit 7. It's our MiniTUT series and it's Lesson 1. That's vocabulary. Let's jump straight into it. As you can see, we have 10 words at the bottom of the page, okay? Now, by the time we've reached Book 2 and certainly by about Unit 7, we're not so concerned about the pronunciation. We hope that students are able to pronounce these words by themselves, okay? That they just need some guidance by the teacher, but we're not going to be drilling our students for pronunciation, okay? So keep that in the back of your mind. Now, as I mentioned, there are 10 words that we have to deal with here. Having said that, though, these words are not particularly difficult, all right? And so you can throw them up on the board and keep in the back of your mind that they are quite easy. However, you as a teacher can make it a little bit more challenging for the students. And how are we going to do that? Easy. We're going to start our lesson by throwing up the words on the board, and then boom. We're also going to then introduce to our students, or not introduce, but certainly reinforce to our students the ending sounds. All right, boys and girls, number 1, say z. Number 2, say s. Number 3, say is. Good job. Number 1, Number 2, Number 3, Table number 1, 1, 2, 3, go. S, z, s, is. Good job. Table number 4, go. Z, s, is. Good job. Table number 3, go. Z, z, z. Uh-oh, terrible. Table number 2, go. Z, z, is. Oh, so. So you as the teacher need to make sure that the students actually are pronouncing this well. Why? Because once we are done with that, we're going to move on to our next step. What's the next step? Throw those ending sounds on the top of the board and make sure that the students are aware of them, because we're now going to pluralize all of our words. All right, boys and girls, number 1, and this is now a review. Number 1, say zzz. Good job. Number 2, say s. Yeah, so cool. Last one, number 3, say is. Okay, so now you can really make sure that all students are saying that nicely and properly. And if you have identified some students that are weak with their ending sounds, that's okay, because you will then say, all right, Harry, stand up please. Harry, number 1, say. Now, it's not immediately intuitive what the ending sound of flat is. Is it going to be flats, flats, or flatses? Now, there are rules. You can take a look at them yourself, but it is important for the students to start to think about these ending sounds and to say them properly, not just always say s, 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 because they always say living room s, which is terrible. And of course it's not living room s, it's living room z. But this is where we can now reinforce the ending sounds. Harry, flat, flats. Good job, Harry. You get a point. Sit down. Thank you, teacher. All right, then Harry sits down. Then you as a teacher, you write it down. Good job, Harry. Flats. Next one. Sally, stand up, please. Sally stands up. All right, Sally, this one. Sally goes, houses, houses, houses. No, Sally, -1, or no, Sally, sit down. Anybody else want to try? Larry, stand up, please. Larry says, houses. Good job, Larry. You get a point. Sit down, Larry. And then you write it on the board, okay? And so you're going to go through all of your weaker students first, and then your stronger students towards the end. Boom. Now you've got them all on the board, and now you could have a review. So for example, you could have, all right, table number 1, stand up please. Table number 1, 1, 2, 3, go. They say bedrooms, garages, studies. Good job, table number 1. Boom, 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 boom. Table number 4, go. Houses, bathrooms, gardens, pantries. Good job. Next one, blah, 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 blah. Okay, you get the idea. So now as the students go through all of those things, you will give them points on the board as you test them. If you're unsatisfied, you then just rotate. This one goes there, this one goes here, that one goes there, and that one goes there, until you are satisfied with the pronunciation. And don't forget, you must always give them points. Okay, now once you're satisfied with the ending sounds, don't forget that there is not new vocabulary, but there is vocabulary that you as the teacher need to draw their attention to. If the students are not pronouncing this vocabulary and this grammar well, then they're not going to be able to remember it well. All right, boys and girls, follow me. There is, and all the kids go, is. There are, and all the kids go, are. All right, boys and girls, follow me. Say, is. One more time. Is. Are. Okay? Now, it's very useful and helpful to throw the vocabulary, not only the vocabulary, but the phonetic spelling on the board, because of course it helps the students to visualize. Now, there are, okay, if you want the American ending sound, or there are. If you want the British English sound, okay, there are 3 gardens, whatever. There are 3 kitchens in this big manor house. Wonderful. Okay, or there are 2 kitchens in this small house, whatever it might be. There's 1 kitchen. I should say there is 1 kitchen in this manor house. Okay, so for the sentence pattern that you are going to be teaching, it's really important for you to include it in the vocabulary pronunciation section, because if they cannot identify those sounds properly, they're not going to speak them properly. If they're not going to speak them properly, later on you're going to have problems with your students' pronunciation. Okay. And then the final thing with regards to the vocabulary is you now have to teach, or have to review at least, in, on, under, and outside, because this vocabulary, these prepositions, are going to be used with this vocabulary, which is going to be used with this grammar point later on. So in fact, with this particular section, you are using all of this as a vocabulary section. Again, pronunciation here is absolute key. For the in, on, under thing, you could have 2 students standing up. Okay, you've got, for example, you've got Bob and you've got Billy, and Bob and Billy stand up. You as the teacher, I'm sorry, not yet. You as the teacher will stand over here. You can use your hand and you can say, all right, on. And you just have something on in, you have something inside under, and then you have something outside. You can just put your hand far, far away. Then you have Bob and Billy come up. Here, Bob and Billy, stand up, please. Bob and Billy, on. And then Bob and Billy have to do something on. Bob and Billy, in, and they have to do something in. Bob and Billy, outside, and they do something outside. Now, you can have something funny. Maybe the kids can run outside the classroom. It doesn't really matter to me. But then, of course, you're going to give them their points as you're playing that in, on, under, outside game. Okay, and then once the kids are familiar and happy and comfortable with that vocabulary, you will then move on to the grammar, okay? But that is now for another video, so don't worry about that for now. It's a lot, my teachers. It really is a lot. So make sure that you're going to focus on nicely onto that content. Do your best. Have a lot of fun. Let me know how it goes in your class. I would love to know. Good luck and happy teaching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.